Yo, what's up, viewer? Raid is this huge, epic game packed with crazy mechanics and endless possibilities. Every time I jump in, I'm reminded that even if you toss your strongest champions at a boss, without the right leveling and rolls, they're basically worthless. That's why I'm here to break down the game's mechanics for all you newbies. In today's video, we're going to cover the basics, and I'm going to drop some killer tips to help you start strong with some epic bonuses. Raise the roof! Let's get this party started! The most important thing? Choosing your starter hero. And just for you, I've got some top-tier links in the description that will hook you up with 2 epic champions. First link, grab Lightsworn and then unlock Anax at level 25. Second link, get Rector Drath and then snag Fayne when you hit level 25. Why oh why do I recommend these champions? Simple. Because they're the best starter champions you can get, hands down. If you start the game without my link, you'll be stuck with a rare champion that'll become useless before you know it. But with these epic champions, you'll dominate right from the start and level up your account like a pro. Don't miss your chance to get the edge. So here's the deal. All you gotta do is create an account on your PC or mobile, and the first champion will show up in your inbox, while the second one unlocks as you level up. It's that simple. And with these champions on your team, domination is guaranteed. All right then, newbie, it's time to pick your first champion, the one who's gonna carry you through those early stages like a boss. It's important. You got 4 rare champions to choose from: Elhain, Kael, and Elhain. They're all solid, but they've got some big differences you should know about. Here's my personal tip. Start with Kael. Why? Because he's got versatile abilities, poison debuffs, and some killer AoE damage. If you're more into raw single-target power, Elhain is a beast in solo damage. She crits like crazy and can pull off double attacks. Both are awesome picks to crush the early game. To get started, let's take a quick tour of the main game modes. On the bastion screen, hit the battle button, and boom, you'll unlock modes like campaign, dungeons, faction wars, arena, clan bosses, and more advanced stuff for high-level players. I want you to do well and enjoy, so the campaign is the first thing I'm telling you absolutely need to tackle. It's as straightforward as it gets. 12 chapters, each with 7 missions. Just follow the quests, level up your champions, and you're good to go. But if you're after the real loot, you gotta dive into the dungeons. This is where the magic happens. There are 13 bosses to take down. In the potion keeps, you can farm potions to ascend your champions, while the other dungeons drop gear stats, artifacts, and valuable resources to power up your squad. Dungeons are the second most important game mode and have a massive impact on your gameplay. It's important to explain why focusing on the campaign and dungeons is such a big deal. First off, they're your go-to sources for XP, silver, artifacts, and even shards. The more you farm dungeons, the better the artifacts you'll get. These high-quality pieces will let you gear up your champions like pros, making it easier to tackle tougher challenges. It's a game changer. Here's a simple tip for newbies. Take advantage of auto battle mode during fights. And to speed things up, switch to X2 mode. To progress efficiently, grab the champions from the links in the description. They'll help you breeze through the campaign and get you ready for the dungeons. But here's the catch. Make sure to occasionally play without auto battle. It's the best way to understand how your champions work and to master their abilities. Balance is key. To earn even more XP and resources, don't forget to check out the Missions and Challenges tabs. These will guide you through the starter activities. Complete the tasks, progress through the campaign, and collect your rewards. It's super simple. Now, let's talk about the basics of leveling up your champions, something every player needs to know. The very first thing to focus on is their level. Luckily, this is easy to handle, and it's all about the campaign. Pick a chapter you can clear without breaking a sweat, then choose the champions you want to level up. Start multi-battle mode or auto-battle mode as many times as needed. Rinse and repeat. And just like that, your champion's levels will shoot up in no time. It's easy, efficient, and the foundation of building a strong team. The rarity of your champions plays a big role in the game. There are common, uncommon, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic champions. The difference lies in their stats, number of skills, and how useful they are in different game modes. But here's the kicker. Even the strongest mythic champion isn't a jack of all trades. No matter how awesome they seem, they won't be useful in every single mode. It's all about finding the right champions for the right situations for your game. You've already got a few badass champions that'll crush the early game like it's nothing. The rest, you'll have to grind them for yourself the hard way. But here's the deal. Sometimes there are legendary giveaways and promo codes that can hook you up with some killer champs too. Stay sharp and keep hustling because the game is all about making those power moves. You probably noticed that each champion has stars. That's their rank. Increasing a champion's rank boosts their max level, which in turn cranks up their stats. Bigger rank, a bigger power. As simple as that. For faster progress, it's best to focus on leveling up just 2 key champions at first. If you try to level everyone, you'll run out of resources faster than you think. Why? Because stuff like brews, chickens, and skill tomes aren't exactly easy to come by. Use them wisely, and your champions will be unstoppable. Pay attention here. Instead of using chickens, you can use fodder. These are champions with the required number of stars. For example, if I have a rare champion with 3 stars and they're maxed out at level 30, I can rank them up using other 3-star champions as fodder. The same process applies to leveling up fodder itself. You max them out by farming dungeons or the campaign, then use weaker fodder to boost their rank. It's all about working the system to power up your roster efficiently. The easiest farming strategy is a no-brainer and works like a charm. Pick a campaign stage your top 1 or 2 champs can crush without breaking a sweat. Throw in 2 champs you're leveling up as fodder and let the grind begin. Campaign's the go-to spot, not just because it's efficient, but also because you got a solid chance of snagging extra champs to feed as fodder. It's hands down the fastest and smartest way to power up your team while keeping your resources in check and staying ahead of the game. Getting shards in this game isn't easy. It's a real grind since the game gives them out in pretty small amounts. The easiest ways? You can snag them randomly from campaign stages as rewards, grab an ancient shard from the shop every 7 days, or occasionally find one in the market for 200,000 silver. Oh, and let's not forget, as a newbie, you'll score quite a few shards just by completing missions. But when it comes to sacred shards, they're a rare commodity. You'll need either a ton of effort or to drop some cash to get your hands on them. And no, there's no farming strategy to pull in 100 sacred shards in an hour. Wishful thinking, but that's not happening. Gear and artifacts. These are absolute game changers when it comes to boosting your champions and defining their roles. The concept might seem simple for beginners, but it's worth breaking down to make sure you're getting it right. Okay, now look, if you're gearing up an attack-type champion, focus on the primary stat that boosts their skill damage. Add a bit of speed, and if they've got debuffs, accuracy is a must. Don't forget crit rate and crit damage. They're essential for champions in this class to truly shine. For support champions, survivability is key. Prioritize HP and defense, with speed being absolutely critical. Depending on their skills, you'll also want to add accuracy and resistance to the mix. Tanks, no surprises here, they need defense and HP to soak up damage. Resistance is helpful too, plus a stat that enhances their skill damage to keep them effective. The best sets for beginners are lifesteal, speed, attack, accuracy, and though it's not the easiest to farm, perception. You can farm these sets in dungeons where the gear quality is much better than you'll find elsewhere. Prioritize these sets to give your champions a solid edge in battle. Almost forgot to mention auras, a crucial feature you don't want to overlook. Not all champions have a passive aura, but for those who do, it boosts the stats of your entire team. Keep in mind, though, that auras only work if the champion is in the leader slot. Also, pay attention to where they apply. Some auras work in all game modes, while others are limited to specific ones. Choose wisely to maximize your team's potential. Let's take a minute and talk about Masteries, another key element to powering up your champions. Unfortunately, as a beginner, you won't be able to max out all the Mastery trees. You can only choose 2 trees per champion, and you'll need scrolls to unlock the best talents. But here's the catch. You can't unlock everything. There are limits. Farming scrolls? Honestly, not worth it. The faster option is to just buy them for 800 gems. Trust me, it'll save you a ton of time and effort in the long run. Arena and PvP. why it matters. The arena is an important mode in the game, but what's its purpose and can you skip it? The arena is crucial for farming unique rewards, including resources and artifact sets that can only be crafted in the Forge. You'll also earn tokens here which can be spent in the Hall of Fame to boost the stats of champions from specific roles and elements. As a beginner, you can easily farm arena battles up to a certain rank, but once you reach higher levels, opponents will get significantly stronger, making progress much tougher. Hey, here, quick tip for beginners. Take it slow and steady when climbing the ranks, and always go for opponents who are on your level or weaker. No need to make things harder than they need to be. When building your arena team, stick to the basics: a leader, an attacker, support, and a defender. These roles should work together to give you a good balance of survivability and damage. It's super simple and perfect for anyone starting out. Don't sleep on clans and clan bosses. They're super important. The main perks of this mode are shards and armor sets that you can snag from reward chests based on the damage you deal. The more damage you do, the better the chest you'll earn. The boss comes in different difficulty levels, and the harder the boss, the better the gear you can score. So team up and start crushing those clan bosses. To unlock the clan boss mode, you'll need to join a clan first. It's super easy. Just use the clan search feature. For starters, pick a somewhat active clan with at least 20 to 30 members and a total power of over 1 million. That way, you'll know the clan is decently developed. From there, how active it is will depend on the players themselves. When it comes to dropping some cash on the game, a lot of players ask, what packs are actually worth it? The trick is to keep an eye out for those seasonal deals where you can snag shards for dirt cheap. Here's the play. Focus on packs under $25 that come with at least 3 sacred shards. On average, a sacred shard runs about $10 a pop, so these deals are a steal. Hop into the game regularly to scope out these juicy offers. Resources like silver and energy are easy to grind, but if you see a discounted gem, don't sleep on them. They're always a solid investment. Play it smart, catch the deals, and stretch your dollar to max out your account like a boss. Tournaments and events are a big deal in the game. They're a key source of resources and rewards you don't want to miss. Here's the deal. Tournaments are competitions against players with similar power levels and rankings. You'll earn points by completing specific objectives like summoning champions, upgrading artifacts, or completing activities. On the plus side, tournaments help you make progress by strengthening your champions and farming resources. But there's a catch. They can be a major drain on your resources, especially when it comes to leveling up champions, which eats up a ton of materials. Again, balance is key. High-level players usually have a plan. They stockpile resources before major tournaments start and then go all in to climb the leaderboard and secure those top rewards. For beginners, here's a good tip. Use the event calendar in the game launcher to help you plan ahead. It'll show you what's coming up so you can save resources and time your efforts just right. Smart planning goes a long way. This guide is for absolute beginners, but don't worry, my next guide will be there for those who've already spent some time in the game, and maybe even following this guide to level up. So that wraps up the basics for brand new players. You've learned about leveling up, gearing your champions, artifacts, and little things like PvP, dungeons, and clans. One last thing, don't forget the link in the description to grab some amazing epic champions. Seriously, take your time, enjoy the game, and experimenting with your heroes. No rush, you'll have a blast figuring it all out. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe, smash that like button please, and check out more videos on my channel. I'll see you in the game!